Hello, I'm Dane, and this is Dan Explains. Most of us keep some kind of houseplant. For some people, it's a small houseplant, or many small houseplants. For others, it may be a huge tree, or even many huge trees. Either way, the plants need to be fed, watered, and given sunlight. Outdoor plants are generally hardy enough to fend for themselves. But houseplants require constant care to survive, because they can't feed and water themselves. Usually. Generally, when we think about feeding a plant, it's adding a little fertilizer to its water. That is not what plants actually eat, however. Let me explain why. Before I start, I'd just like to preface that I'm going to use the words carbon and food interchangeably here. When I say either, I mean the thing that the plant and animal needs to grow. Okay, everyone knows trees are made of wood, but where did the wood come from? As animals, we grow and get our energy from the food we eat. The biochemical system our bodies use to do that is called chemoheterotrophy, which basically means we get both our energy and we grow by harnessing chemical energy from the food that we eat. Most plants are not like that, although there are some parasitic plants that are like that, but I won't go over them today. Maybe I'll do that in a different video on them at some point. Anyway, plants are what's called photoautotrophs, which means they get their energy from the sun and their food from another source, which they then use the energy they get from the sun to process and turn into materials that they need to grow. Well, what is that source? Mass-wise, the biggest product plants consume is water via their roots. Wood is mostly carbon, and water molecules contain no carbon. They mostly use the water to help transport nutrients around their bodies, which they get from the soil. Now, nutrients in the soil also contain little to no carbon. If all they were able to get was sun, water, and nutrients, it would be like us trying to survive on vitamins and water. I actually did a video on a guy who did that for over a year. If you're interested in that, watch it after this one. So plants can't get their food from nutrients either. Now, there is a ton of organic matter in the soil. This organic matter is largely inaccessible to plants, however, since they have no means to digest the matter for food. But for fungi and many single-celled organisms, it is accessible. And fungi and many plants form symbiotic relationship that benefits both the fungus and the plant. However, for the most part, the biggest benefit the plant gets from the fungus is its ability to fix nitrogen in nitrogen-poor soils. The fungus actually feeds on the carbon provided by the plant. So the plant is actually the one providing the carbon source for the fungus, and not the other way around. If the plant isn't getting its food through its roots, how is it getting it? Well, the same place it gets its energy. But wait, didn't I just say photoautotrophs don't get their energy and food from the same place? I mean, you can't make a tree out of light, right? The source of the plant's food is not the same source as the plant's energy. But they do use the same organs to get it. Their leaves. That's because they get the carbon they need out of thin air. Literally. We're all aware trees make oxygen and breathe in carbon dioxide. It's the carbon and carbon dioxide that the trees use photosynthesis to fix, so they can make sugars, which they use to feed their cells and grow. On an interesting side note, plants don't actually get the oxygen they breathe out into the air from the carbon dioxide they breathe in. They get it from the water they absorb through their roots. It's pretty amazing to realize that virtually all the carbon that makes up even the biggest trees, that are over 300 feet tall, was actually floating around as part of Earth's atmosphere at some point. Part of those trees could have even been parts of you that you exhaled out as carbon dioxide. Thank you for watching. If you like this video and other topics ranging from theology to science, please press the like button, subscribe to my channel, and ding the bell to get notified when I post new videos. Also, please support me on Patreon to get extra content and special perks. Link in the description. The more people support me, the more time I can dedicate to making videos like this one. So, until next time, have a great week.
you.